Trump, tariffs, and the trade war. Everything you need to know. This is what we'll talk about today. Hello there, I'm Elena. Welcome back to my channel, Enough of Propaganda. Please like, subscribe, share my videos. Let's make truth available for everyone. As an economist who is a former associate professor from several Russian universities, I just watching with basically horrifying feeling what Donald Trump is doing to United States and to the world economy. This is insane trade war he started for no reason whatsoever. Is just incredibly stupid and horrifying. Let's talk about facts. What is tariffs? It seemed like Trump himself have no clue what it is. To be very direct and very simple, basically tariff is a sales tax, which is country who impose that tariff will charge you. Like basically, if these glasses, let's say made, I'm from Canada, so if these glasses are not made in Canada and parts of it made in different countries, if it would have been made in Canada, it would have cost, for example, $10. If this glass is made, let's say, in the United States, and Canada imposed, I don't know, 100% tariff on these glasses, I will pay for it. Well, I wouldn't pay, but I will have to pay for it twice. So, $20. Cha-ching. This is how it works. If the people who producing these glasses decided we will still charge $10, but we ourselves have to pay another $10 because this produced abroad. What? They supposed to pay from their own pocket, reduce their own profit to sell you these glasses for the exact same price? How stupid is that? How long is business gonna last? But the worst of it is not even that. It's that if you remember one of my previous video when I said that the world standing on the total of trust, like remember that old picture, trust and as a total and the elephants are standing on top of it, which are laws and freedom of press and so on, and they're holding the world. So if you remove that total from underneath, it's like removing the chair from underneath of you when you're sitting on it. You will fall down. You will fall down. The same will happen with economy. Exactly the same thing. It just, and the world already have been there. The problem is neither many Russians nor some Americans know their own history. Trump not only have no clue what tariffs are, he has no clue about history. Whatever he's proposing about, oh, tariffs instead of income tax and this and that, exact the same policies led to Great Depression in the United States. But apparently not enough Americans suffered from it. Not enough of them died. Not enough of them lost their businesses and lives. They need to repeat it, exactly like Russians. Not enough of them lose their lives to Stalin. He killed over 30 million. About 27 during the World War II and so on. Russia putting monuments to Stalin again. What I horrified recently about Russia was that they basically, right now, their prosecutor's office has nothing better to do than reveal old cases, which Stalin was grabbed people, throw them in jail for fake accusations in that they're some sort of a bad guys, enemy of the nation and so on, just to fill up gulags, to use them as a slave labor, basically. So many of these people, after the Khrushchev warming kind of time, when Khrushchev exposed Stalin crimes, their cases were revealed, revised, and they will say these people are not guilty. They were just thrown in jail because somebody wanted them in jail. That's all. So now Putin's regime, Putin's illegal regime, I would say, because Russians have never actually voted for Putin. So Putin's illegal regime revising these cases to show that these people are actually guilty of something. They have nothing better to do to approve Stalin's crimes. So where did it lead Russia? Trump is always admiring Russia, admiring dictators, admiring Russia. China's economy is in bad shape. Russian economy is literally in stagflation right now. And the situation getting worse and worse. If before, at least Russian military sector was making some money, or could at least pay for their people, somewhat for the people who they put in to work for an industry who producing missiles, for example, or shells and so on. Now they can't even pay them. They can't increase their salaries anymore. They ran out of money. This is why I was warning you about Trump before, because by admiring Putin and trying to copy him, he is dragging the United States and now the whole world with the United States towards stagflation and recession. United States in December 2024, before Trump get to power, was #1 economy in the world. It was the envy of the world how well they came out of COVID, for example. And now what? Stagflation is on the table and recession is on the table. The tariffs wars, like if you look, I'll give you the video which literally will show you that even the stupid formula which United States government produced, how they calculated these tariffs, is basically a lie. What did they do? They just used trade deficit to calculate it. The stupidity of it is astonishing. Imagine, like, say, I don't know, small country like Switzerland with like what, 8 million people trading with the United States, who has hundreds of millions of people. They can't possibly physically bought as much from the United States as much United States buying from them. They just simply don't have enough people to buy from you. Stupidity going further. Where do you think pension money is in the United States? In the stock market, we just dropped like a rock. Enormous amount. What do you think will happen? Literally. It's just so unbelievably stupid. And the Americans will suffer, first of all, and the rest of all, everybody else, because completely will destroy the whole system of producing things. People produce these glasses in several different countries for the reason, because it was cheaper, it was more convenient. But if it crossed the border several times, like some products, cars and so on, car parts, sometimes they cross in the border several times, and every single time they will be hit by the tariffs. The stupidity of it just mind-boggling. The repercussions of it is already happening. All these talks about Canada 51st state and other stupidities, leading that Canadians stop buying American products. We literally have signs in our stores showing that this beef is pork like Canadian. We stopped going to Walmart, which was convenient. It is a decent store. Americans are our friends and allies. For many years, we were buying American products, American cars, produced partly in Canada, partly in the United States. Ford right now created the whole plant in Canada. Now what? And the worst of all is partly unpredictability. There is no stability. You can't, like, what do you do? What to do for Ford, for example? They built the plant, everything was great. Now what? They're not gonna pay tariffs, so they're gonna stop this plant where it is and start building one in the United States. And tomorrow Trump flip like a coin and say tariffs are gone. And somebody's already built, for example, half a year from now, they already built the plant in the United States. And Americans doesn't want to work in this plant. They don't want to. What do you do? And at the same time, they're attacking migrants, they're attacking immigrants, even legal immigrants, throwing them out. That's exactly what Putin is doing in Russia. This policy in Stalin time was called voluntarism. It means when the supreme leader, by his willpower, dictate economy what to do. It's a stupid idea. It does not work. It never did. Because you can't tell sun not come up tomorrow. You cannot throw a rock in the air and tell him to stay there. Because there is a law of gravity, it will fall down. That's why the laws of economics work in exactly in the same manner. You cannot order something, especially when you have a free and democratic country which built on the profitability, and nobody will gonna create a business. Trump full of stupid ideas. He decided for some unknown reason to dig for rare earth metals in Russia because Putin invited him. It's stupid for so many reasons. There was an idea, it was a theory of McDonald's or something like that. If every country will have a McDonald's, they wouldn't have a war because they're not going to bomb their own business. They perfectly fine bombing McDonald's in Ukraine. In Russia, these businesses, who actually foreign people came to Russia, developed things like Canadian companies, developed oil, did something, built something. Then Putin show up and said, we are changing the rules of the game now. Instead of 40%, Russia now will get 60%, or 70, or 80, and the rest is yours. Yeah, it's not profitable for you, but what are you gonna do? You already invested, you already built this building, you already hired people, you already did a whole bunch of stuff, you already put the oil rig, or a refinery, or something like that. And now what? This is what it's called shoot yourself in the foot, because companies will leave and they will never come back. How well it worked for Danone. I bet Kadyrov's family enjoying that foreign company given to them. For 3 years of the full-scale invasion, American and foreign companies was trying to leave Russia, and they could not because Russia didn't give them money back. They're not going to buy them for a decent price. What happened to McDonald's? They now called in Russia "вкусно и точка," tasty period. So they just took it and give some peanuts. At least McDonald's left. Pepsi-Cola didn't. They even built another plant in Russia. So I ignoring them now. I ban them for myself because I don't like to drink with a taste of Ukrainian blood in it. These companies are still supporting Russia and Putin. And the very idea that your company will decide to build anything back to Russia is plain stupid. Never invest in this stupidity in this company. Leave it immediately as soon as like that happens. Because Russia tomorrow will take your plant you build in Russia and all your money you invested in it will be poof, gone. And the same thing Trump is doing. Those rare earth metals in Russia, in tundra, when there is no roads, there is nothing in there. It will take, according to experts, 15 years to build anything there. 15 years! And all the investments pouring into it could be taken away tomorrow from you. That is why it's stupid to deal with Russia ever again. Until Putin is in power. And until Russia didn't build proper democracy in there, there is absolutely no reason to deal with it. That stupid threats on Denmark, don't even let me start on it, on Greenland and so on. According to National Security Chief of Denmark, for 50 years, Denmark tried to find somebody to develop their rare earth metals and so on. It's not profitable. It's too expensive, too inconvenient. Nobody wanted it. And if United States, not acting like a bully like Putin, because instead of talking to people nicely, he preferred to punch them in the face and bend them to his will. This will not gonna happen. Democratic countries wouldn't stand up for it. They're not Russia. They don't like it, and they never will. This is why whatever United States is doing right now is stupid. And don't think it's just MAGA or Trump. There is no such country on the map called Administration of the United States. Whatever Trump is doing, the United States is doing. He's signing your name underneath of the crimes, underneath of bombing of Kryvyi Rih in Ukraine, underneath of every crime Putin committing, by supporting Putin, by doing stupid things, by destroying the world trade, for no reason whatsoever, at all. He's signing your name underneath of it. And the United States destroying the trust in the United States. In 2 words, even just to look at the war in Ukraine, American military showed that they are producing incredible weapons, like HIMARS, like F-35s and so on. And Russia proved that their weapons is garbage. So basically, they removed themselves from the competition. S-300, S-400, they can defend themselves, let alone whatever they were supposed to protect. What people will do, they will go and buy American because it's proven good. And now with trust destroyed by Trump, basically spit on the American highest branches of power, Congress and so on, When American people decided to give the help to Ukraine, to give the aid to Ukraine, he just stopped it for several days. Ukraine had to leave Kursk region because of that. They stopped sharing the intelligence information. So they literally showed, we can turn it off for you. We don't maybe even produce something for you, or don't give you shells or parts or this and that. So they proved unreliable. The world will go around it. The world will stop buying American. When now Americans were the kings of the market, with Russia removed, and showing that their weapons are the best, they are superior. Everybody wanted them. Now people looking elsewhere. Canada thinking of stop buying F-35s they ordered. The same as Europe. And Europe, what Trump achieved? Europe decided, well, let's create a fund which we will spend to buy weapons for Europe. And in the past, this fund, 100 billion, 100 million, something like that, a big fund, they would have spent buying American weapons, giving the jobs to American people, paying money. Now what? They decided that fund only can be spent for the European companies in Europe. So none of it America will see. How come it's good for America? Tourism fail as well. Like even just example with Canadian tourism. 48% of Canadians said, nah, we're not planning to go to the United States. I think air travel fell 13%. 23% land travel and so on. About 14,000 jobs lost in the United States because of that. And it's just one example how stupidity works. Stupidity will be punished, and so will be Trump. Whatever he's proposing has been done already. That led to Great Depression. Every country who tried all that isolationism, populism, Japan first, America first, Canada first, failed. It ruined the economy. Ask Japan how well they worked for them when they were isolated from the rest of the world. How fantastic it worked. Just Trump people doesn't bother in. Trump himself and his crew, they don't bother in to verify facts. They don't bother in to actually know history or economy or anything else. They making stuff up. They lie all the time. There is no point to believe in them. Don't let you get sucked into that lies. Yeah, let's Trump doing his job. We will see what happens. We already saw what happens. History already showed it time and time again. It has never worked and never will. And by destroying the world economy, he's not even helping Putin all that much. That's the only thing which doesn't really actually help Putin enough. It's this particular thing, the trade war. If the prices of oil wouldn't fall, it would have helped Putin on the short term. But long term, it would ruin the Russian economy even faster. But now with oil prices falling apart, falling down, it will ruin the Russian economy even faster. Everything else what Trump is doing is helping Putin. Absolutely everything else, from destroying NATO, from destroying trust, ruining the economy of the United States, and many other things include stopping Radio Liberty and Voice of America. They literally stop using satellites to help them to provide the information for people. Everything what Soviet Union and Russia dreamed of, Trump is just giving it to them for no reason. Trump literally roll over for Putin, give up the American country being a number one in the world leader. They literally helping autocracies to prove that democracy is garbage. Yeah, trust the dictator. He will look after you. Hey, look at Putin, how well he look after Russians. Almost 1 million of them already dead, wounded, or missing in action. Russian economy is in ruins. Russia can't even pay for even those who work for military, which the only industries who was doing well in Russia. They dictate to economy, импортозамещение they call it. So we will replace foreign companies with Russians. Failed miserably. Nothing of this happened because for building something, you need investments. Russia doesn't have it because nobody helping Russia like they helped the USSR when it collapsed. Because they hoped, foreigners were hoping that Russia will become a democratic country. Now there is no hope for that. Nobody is giving Russian money. And only an idiot will open a business in Russia. So none of this worked. None of this ever worked. And none of this will. So don't fall for the propaganda. Either Trump's or Putin's, it doesn't matter. Please learn the truth and stay informed. Thank you for watching. See you later.